Thank you. So, even though you guys were struggling offensively in the first half, it seemed like Rudy's defense was really kind of keeping you, within shouting distance. As it became apparent, they were kind of maybe not afraid, but hesitant to challenge him. What can you say about the job that he did down low tonight, just in kind of keeping you guys within shouting range?
Well, really, he's been, it's what he does. And tonight, that's something we've talked about, defending, even when we're not playing as well on the offensive end. And I thought the second half, we started pushing the ball on some of the stops we got. And as you said, he can't take it for granted because he just impacts the game, impacts it in a lot of ways. And tonight you saw it on the defensive end as well. I shouldn't say as well. Tonight you saw it on both ends.
Kristen Kenny, Jazz TV.
Building off of that, Coach, can you just describe his mentality? I mean, we're talking about him tonight in the game and just noticing that he's always playing with an edge, like a chip on his shoulder.
Well, I just think he's competitive. We had a lot of guys compete tonight. Rudy's not alone. And I think when you're a competitive group, you're more urgent. You find ways to make plays for one another because, winning's in the front of your mind. And, there's games where the box score doesn't show the things that he does. Tonight it did. And as you said, he's not trying to prove anything. He's just playing and he's just competing. And, that's what we get from our whole group. And, he can lift you when he's doing that, particularly on the defensive end.
Ben Anderson, KSLSports.com.
Quinn, out of my own ignorance, how similar is the way Joe plays now to the first time you saw him when he was in Europe, and how much has changed?
Well, I think he's grown as a player. It's hard to compare. Well, it's not hard to compare. I think back about, when he was battling, to get on the floor, he got on the floor defensively. And, that's something I think, it's hard to maintain consistency defensively, as you're playing 34, 35, 36 minutes. And there's been a real focus on his part. He can do it. He's playing more minutes right now with Mike out, but I think he's really purposeful on the defensive end. His pick and roll game is something, that he's developed, the synergy that he has with our bigs, with Rudy and Fave. And I think, he's also really improved his finishing. And, when you get the threat of finishing and also dropping the ball off to the big, that opens other things up as well. So I think the fact that he started to play a lot of pick and roll over a few years, he's just gotten better at it. And he's finding more people and making better reads. And the other thing, he jokes about it. We joke about it a little bit now. Is he's not hesitated at any point on a shot and taking it in transition, taking it off the dribble. He's always been a great catch and shoot guy in the half court. And I think he's really, he's been more aggressive. He's taken that to heart, and as a result, I would say it adds another dimension to his game because it's there, but it sets up a lot of other things that he's doing. And, the way that we play is very different from the way that, they played in Barcelona. When I first saw him, it was more of a half court game. And I think the thing, I don't know how old he is right now. I know he's in his 30s, but he was an older player by, comparatively when he got to the league. And, his commitment to working on his game and improving, I think, is something that, we feel like you can continue to get better. There's no ceiling on anybody based on their age, and that's what he's done.
David James, KUTV.
Obviously, they had to start a different kind of lineup with the guys they're missing, but how much does that group's energy and the way they defended the three-point line early in the game give you guys a problem? And how much do you think you'll see teams try to copy that later on?
Well, I think teams want to take away the three. They want to take away the rim. And they're one of the best defensive teams in the league. Obviously without some of their guys, they're different the same way. Any team is different, but they compete regardless, and they're a really good team, and they play really good defense, and that's a credit to Ty and their whole team. They're shifted, they're disciplined with what they do, and they play really hard. So that combination is going to make you a good defensive team, and we're always going to have to work to try to get the things that we want, and they make it hard.
Last question, Andy Larson, Salt Lake Tribune.
Quinn, with that defense, I mean, you guys struggled to break it down in the first half in half court. Second half, you guys got out in transition a little bit more, but even just on the half court possessions, you had more success. What was it that led to that success in half court specifically?
Well, I think whether it's a make or a miss, pushing the ball and playing, with force, it's easier to do. I think, when you get stops, because there's more, possibilities there, guys run with more of an expectation that they may get the ball. I didn't think we did that on makes or misses in the first half. And as you said, I think they feed off each other. There's no reason that we shouldn't be running, particularly our wings and our bigs, to spacing on makes as well. But if you start a possession, with force and with precision in terms of your spacing, good things happen. You can usually carry that through. And we weren't running hard enough at the start of the game. And usually that means we're not spaced well. And if we're not spaced and we're not running, things are going to bog down.
All right, that's it. Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you.